Hi, today I'm going to be reading one of my favourite books, Bat vs. Poss, written by Alexa Moses and illustrated by Anil Tortit. Meek the Poss and her sisters three lived in a sprawling paperbark tree that grew by a tumble-down terrace row. They danced in the moonlight and slept down below. Then, one night something dropped with a growl and a squeak and plopped into their tree with a yowl and a shriek. What could it be? They crept up to see a big fruit bat draped from the top of their tree. He rose and extended his claws with a crack. When he gave a loud belch, the girls shuffled back. "I'm Squabbles the Bat," he said with a grin. "You can push off, 'cause I'm moving in." So Meek took her girls to the cramped lower spaces and wiped all the tears from their sad little faces. The night was not fun. They were too scared to move. Squabbles spat and he shrieked and he burped and he pooed. Cooker and Magpie flapped over unstrung. They lived down the tree above Bluey the Tongue. "You've got to get rid of that tiresome freak. You're bigger than us. Be firm with him, Meek." Sir, since we're hearing you all over town, perhaps you might try keeping it down?" The bat winked an eye and suddenly spat, and Meek tumbled down with a bump, thump, clump, splat. Bluey the Tongue called a neighbourhood meeting, while Squabbles slept high above, snorting and bleating. "We might as well leave," a minor bird cried. "No one can deal with that crazy bat guy." Meek gazed over the arguing throng, and a plan hit her suddenly, sharp and strong. "I've got it," she cried, and her eyes were aglow. "When I give the signal, be ready to go." The evening had fallen, the moon was a sail. Meek climbed on the red bin and waggled her tail. "Come down and get me, you big flying toad!" Squabbles looked like his whole head would explode. "I'll make a fur coat of you, festering rash!" He swooped down to catch her and fell in the trash. Meek whistled and heard a rustling din as into the tree many creatures climbed in. Then Squabbles looked up and saw with surprise the dozens of furious, glistening eyes. Lizards and possums, birds fluffy and trim, insects and reptiles all glaring at him. Meek scampered up and stood high in the tree. "We're kicking you out! Find another home, see?" Squabbles' lip wobbled. He tucked up his wings and started to hobble across the waste bins. "But, Meek, doesn't everyone get second chances?" The littlest Poss piped up, drawing shamed glances. Meek hugged her sister, then called through the air, "You're welcome to stay, if you're willing to share." Now Meek the Poss and her sisters three still lived in that sprawling paperbark tree. With Cooker and Magpie and Squabbles the Bat, they mostly get on, with occasional spats. But Squabbles now shares, and he tries not to brawl, and when the moon's out, he gives joy rides to all. The end. Now I love this book because it teaches us that no matter who you are and what type of person you're around, you can always be friends and always get along. So thanks for listening to Bat versus Poss today, and I hope you have an awesome book week.